Hey guys, Miss Jagger here, and welcome to a very important channel update, which will be affecting how this channel will go. And it's not my first time doing this. Unfortunately, the first time I tried recording this, I had this thing called the software I use, Open Broadcaster Software, or OBS, basically has this noise gate feature, which I was unaware of at the time. But basically, it just cuts your audio off when your sound threshold is low enough. It will pass through this little section where it will just cut the audio like that. So you could be midway through a sentence and go to a low pitch, which doesn't really have the audio, and the audio will just be like and just gone. It will just cut the audio. So in order to do that, I just turned it off and muddled around with the settings, so I'm not going to be deafening you guys. But you'll be able to hear what I'm saying near the end of the sentence, which is good. But yes, so I'm going to basically say what I said in the other one, because I basically stopped that video. I'm going to re-upload it in this form, and hopefully it'll work out. But yeah, so basically in recent times I've been having a fair amount of issues feeling the vibe for YouTube. I'm basically getting burnt out from YouTubing. Now, I'm going to say right now that I'm not going to quit YouTubing. I still find it as a very enjoyable hobby, and I still dedicate a fair amount of time towards it. I will dedicate a time towards it, and I will always have I will always answer your comment sections. I'll always, I'll answer your comments. I'll, reply to whatever you send me, sort of thing. That's what I'll definitely do. But right now, I'm going to be taking a bit of a break from doing the usual schedule and rota sort of thing from YouTube, because in recent times I've just been feeling no vibe when it comes to making videos. Like, certain videos or games I enjoy playing and recording, but not to the same level or intensity as when I started 3 years ago. And while you could interpret this as saying, oh, he's just getting lazy and he doesn't like doing it anymore. It's not that at all. I always love being able to provide decent content for you guys, but recently, and it sounds like a bit like I'm complaining about a chore, but it's not a chore. It's like a chore, but a chore. It's one of those sort of things which, unless you're going through it, you don't, or unless, I don't know. It's really tough. It's weird to say, but basically, whenever I go onto my Steam library now, I don't feel any enjoyment factor much through the games I'm looking at. Because either there'll be two thoughts that'll go through my head. One will be, Crab Hunter, you can't do that. Miss Jagger, you can't do that. You got to render the video from X channel, the X video series. World of Tanks is not going to film itself or render itself. Got to come up with a subject that'll be deemed interesting for World of Tanks. Or I'll be thinking, shit, I need to render. Fuck, okay, hang on, let me just quickly... And then I'll just, and then I'll probably either spend forever just looking at my library, sort of looking up and down, up and down, up and down, never really deciding what I want to play. And then maybe at the last moment, I'll finally go over my nerves and say, sod it, I'm going to play a game I want to play, and then it's like half an hour before I got to get ready for work the following morning. Or I gotta go to bed. So it becomes really kind of frustrating, because it's sort of like I don't get to play a video game the way I used to. And I'm not saying that YouTubing corrupts you or does anything, but when you're doing a YouTube, you start sort of questioning whether or not, because for example, if for example you start out with one game, and then despite playing the one game, you do play other games. You sort of, at least in my case, you keep thinking, well, maybe I could make something out of this. Maybe if I could do more popular videos, And obviously it doesn't help that the video in question that you're making, 50 other thousand people are doing the exact same thing. But at the same time, you want to try and add your own little spin to it, sort of deal. And you think, well, maybe if I do this and this, then that'll work out. And a good example of a sort of good intentions not working out is going to be the Fallout 4 series. Now, my intention at the start of the series was to make a nice long play with the intention of basically being myself playing through the game. But it's completely backfired because instead of being myself, whereas I'm a methodical, I will spend forever in one area doing my own thing, I feel this impetus, this rush to get everything done because I only have 40 minutes to do it in. And it's like, with all the patches coming through, and that's another bloody annoying thing as well with the patches, but I feel like I can't really say it's a long play because it's now just a walkthrough, because I'm just meandering my way through, occasionally stopping. But now, as the episodes go later on, you may notice I'm beginning just to pick up the pace a bit and just focus purely on the campaign missions. And you know, when I say stuff like, oh, I'll do that at some point, it'll be like, no, you won't, because, you know, the patch is going to come through, and then you're not going to be able to play with the mods you've got, or, oh, you know, you could just play with vanilla, or, and it is just a bit like, it's becoming frustrating, sort of, playing through the game, because you've got to think, well, hang on a second, how I play, I'm not the smartest of players, so there may be something that I don't quite get, or I don't quite sort of go through, and you sort of start to feel frustrated because you think, fuck, am I dumb? And, you know, so yeah, I mentioned in one of the episodes later on that I'm not likely to do a series like it again, and I probably won't now because, well, and as I said with this break from YouTube, I probably will never do a Let's Play like that unless sometime down the line something magical occurs where I can do it with someone, or if I do it as part of something else. Unlikely as hell at the moment to do any more of those kind of Let's Plays. And, you know, with regards to sort of other sort of stuff, you know, it kind of swings back into the Fallout 4 kind of also swings back into the, well, it's a game I enjoy and I play a lot, or should play a lot, so naturally I should record it, right? And you know, the other thing which is becoming more apparent than ever is the amount of time I don't actually get to play video games, because it sounds stupid, but my renderer takes time. Rendering a video takes time, which kind of comes to another point. What you could ask is, well, why don't you just render all your videos in one go and then, you know, get on with the game in other ways? Well, yeah, you could do that, and it's not a bad point, but then the problem is you have to dedicate at least one day of your week just to render stuff. And to raise a point of how much I spend rendering during the week anyway, I'm going to go to my profile. I'm not going to show you because you're just going to see my reaction to it, but on my profile, I'm going to go to my most played games. And recent activity playing on my Movie Studio 13 Platinum. It says recent activity in the past 2 weeks. I've spent 46.1 hours on my Movie Studio Platinum. I got this in October of last year for a birthday present, of which I am grateful. The software itself is fantastic to use, but it's third place in my most played games, with a massive 253 hours in my Steam records. The only things that beat that is War Thunder at 395 and Company of Heroes 2 at 366. Though, if I keep doing the YouTube, that's gonna beat it. Now, you could argue there's a whole bunch of, you know, but yeah, I'm like, there you go. I mean, bloody hell, 253 hours. There are games, there's a shit ton of games down below that are below that I would play regularly, and I played regularly. I mean, Christ, Empire Total War. I used to play that a lot when I was younger. Rome 2 Total War. We've had 2 bloody campaigns out of that game. Not as much as that. Shogun 2, just below it at 242 hours. Yes, 10-hour difference. But we had 2 campaigns out of that as well. And, oh... So, yeah, if you want to, you could argue the case, spend a whole day rendering, but it's like, I like to play video games. to spend a whole day rendering means I've got to you know, depending on how much time I've got on that particular day to render, it means that, you know, potentially, you know, I enjoy playing video games and I'm having to waste a day simply clicking on a button, waiting for the computer to render the program, which, you know, it takes about 2 hours and like 2.5 hours to make a 40-minute video out of 1080p. Now, as I said, you get the good quality, and I ain't complaining about that, but then it's like you've got to get the quality done, get it, wait for it to render, and, you know, it's a time consumer. And you then have to wait 2.5 hours, at least, in order to enjoy a 40-minute video, which you'll upload and everything will be fine, but then you're just like, well, hang on a second, I'm just going to end up running out of time to record the bloody videos if I'm going to be in this case. So, you know, I can't honestly say I enjoy the constant rendering process, because also it means that when I get back home from work, instead of joining up with my mates online, I end up sort of saying, right, I'm rendering now, and so half of the day is gone before I get to enjoy playing any video games with them, which is a bit of a bummer. You could argue, well, because I have an Xbox One, you'd be like, oh, just play on that, play with your mates on that. Well, it's like, first of all, I don't own that many games, and second of all, I'm a PC gamer. I enjoy console games, but I know I could spend well over 10 hours on World of Tanks, maybe rage quitting in between, but still playing World of Tanks more than I could on an Xbox One. So, yeah, it's... I'm sort of having a bit of a rant/ramble at the moment, but this video is just going to be it's basically I'm doing what I do, and I'm rendering. I'm talking as I'm going to talk. Like this is totally unscripted, unthought of, just literally me saying what I feel. Again, because of the thing. Because, you know, and as I said, I'm not going to quit on YouTube. I'm definitely not going to quit on YouTube, but right now I'm not feeling as vibrant in making videos as I used to, so... I've been going on for like 12 minutes now, so I think we should try and wrap things up. Obviously, for anyone who's sort of subscribed to my channel for more stuff like that, and you feel that with this particular decision, you're going to be like, well, sorry, but, or no, I ain't subscribing for that, then that's fair enough, I don't blame you. I'm not saying that I'm not going to do any videos during my time off, but it will basically be when I feel like uploading during this period, I will. And then sometime down the line, I'm not going to put a date on it. A few weeks at most. Maybe. I don't know. It says that. Not a date, but a few weeks. Non-specific time. I will make a channel update, whereupon then, if I am feeling the vibrancy, schedules will be changed. Now, obviously, depending, of course, on the schedule change, I will basically... For ongoing series, I will continue them, but I will basically change the schedule upon the series finishing them. Obviously, we've got the Total War thing going on, as well as the Fallout 4, but luckily, I think we're coming up to the end of Fallout 4. And I don't think I'll follow a schedule in that regard. I don't know. Like as I said, I'll probably make a video detailing what's going to happen in regards to that. But basically, we're going to continue the series as they are, but then once they're done, I'm probably going to cut some things off. So that's the plan, at least. But as I said, if any of you guys feel that you're not willing to sort of subscribe for that, then that's fair enough. I wouldn't blame you. It makes sense. You come here for one thing, and if I'm saying I can't provide it, then that's fair enough. So, yeah. So to recap, I'm now going to be going off. I'm going to be going for a bit of a YouTube break. I am not leaving YouTube, and I will upload what I feel like, when I feel like, and when I can feel like doing it. When I have the time to do it, if I wish to do it. So to prove A, that I'm not dead, and B, because then I can actually record what I want to record and feel at the time, yes, I can do it like that. And there isn't any major pressure to get it out on the fucking schedule. Which is nice. So, yes, thank you very much for watching this. And I also want to take the opportunity to say a big thank you to everyone who has watched, subscribed, liked, and commented on my videos. I will definitely keep in touch with all the comments down below, and I will keep in touch with the comments on my videos, so don't worry about that. I will be active in that region. if anyone puts a comment on my videos, make I will definitely reply to them, and I will definitely answer them as best as I can, so do not worry about that. But for the time being, it is just going to be a bit of a break for me making videos. So thank you very much for watching this. It's been a very lengthy video, actually, 15 minutes. Ooh. Rambling! So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you another time. This is Mitch Jager, signing out.